Good morning, everyone. I am Miranda Shabangu, and welcome to Mafube Times Business News segment. Knowing that load shedding is a crisis in South Africa and it is an ongoing period of widespread national blackouts of electricity supply, agriculture is the lifeline of many rural areas. Load shedding disrupts irrigation, storage, and processing of agricultural products. This not only affects the livelihood of farmers, but also has a ripple effect on the food supply chain, potentially leading to higher prices and shortages. There is a private electricity distributor company called Rural Maintenance which claims to have a solution to this problem. It initially aims to provide independent solar power to Frankfurt and eliminate power cuts. Eskom opposed this arrangement, stating that Rural Free State's system for reducing load shedding, known as voiding, was not aligned with national standards and could potentially destabilize South Africa's grid. And the High Court's ruling was against this initiative. To have more insight to this, we are joined by the Rural Maintenance CEO, Mr. Chris Bosch. Join us after the break.
Hi there. Need a hand getting your brand noticed in this noisy world of advertising? That's where Blinking Media comes in. We're all about making your brand shine bright and stand out from the crowd. Our crew of creative minds is here to wipe up eye-catching campaigns that will have everyone talking. Whether you're after some social media magic or some serious slick visuals, we've got you covered. Let's chat and see how we can help your brand steal the spotlight. Drop us a line and let's make some marketing magic.
Good morning, Mr. Chris, and welcome to Mafube Times. I'm Miranda Shabam, your interviewer for the day. We appreciate your time for taking. We appreciate the opportunity of you taking this time to talk to us.
No, thank you, and thank you for having me. And if there's any information that we can share, we do so happily.
Okay, so without wasting any more time, I'll just get straight to the first question. Well, the Rural Maintenance initially aims to provide independent solar power to Frankfurt and eliminate power cuts. Can you elaborate on the specific reasons behind the High Court's ruling against this initiative?
Yes, no, certainly. The problem that we have in South Africa, as you have said, is the whole load shedding and power cost and power availability. And the one thing I think we as citizens need to realize is that we're not going to switch off to save the country. The more we switch off, the more we use less electricity, the less economic activity, the less income that we have, the less money we have to spend on salaries and everything else. So we need to grow ourselves out of South Africa's trouble. And the only way that we can grow ourselves out of South Africa's trouble is to bring solutions where we make energy available. We help Eskom. Let's not discuss why we're sitting in this situation. Let's rather discuss how can we be a solution. How can we add value to help South Africa where we're sitting now? And the only way that we can do that is by adding electricity onto the network, like what you've seen we've been doing. Now, the High Court ruling with Eskom's case was just part of the process. We were not thrown off course. Our course is to make sure that every person in Mafube can have access to affordable electricity the whole time. Now, and that is the course that we're staying. And even with all the fights that we've had with Eskom, we're cooperating now. And I'm sure that everybody that works at VKB or they work at Six Star or they're in town can see that those businesses are running. And that was our first step, is to make sure that big business has electricity. Now we're ready for the next step in our journey.
Okay, thank you. And following the court ruling, how has the Rural Maintenance adjusted its approach to bring reliable electricity to the community of Frankfurt?
Okay, so actually, we didn't need to adjust our approach. Our approach always has been to build new generation capacity, because if we have electricity, customers will come. And that's what we said. Let's make sure there's quality and continuity electricity for the community. So we didn't have to adjust our plan. The only thing we needed to adjust was our time period, because now the fact that Eskom initially didn't cooperate with us, it made things a little bit longer to get done. But the plan is still the same plan, and now we are cooperating with Eskom very nicely. So when load shedding does return to South Africa, then I'm sure the community in Frankfurt and Villiers are going to see nice benefits where we have our plans ready to have less load shedding.
Okay, thank you. I can hear that you're already answering some of the questions that I had for you.
Oh,
So,
so
so then, looking beyond Frankfurt, does rural maintenance have plans to expand its services to address similar power challenges in other South African communities?
for now, it says, there's a saying that says charity begins at home. Your focus needs to be at home. And unless Frankfurt, Villiers, Tweeling, Cornelia, they must all be load shedding free. If they all load shedding free, and it's not our fault that there may be people that don't want to be load shedding free, but our first focus is to look after our immediate family, and our immediate family is the entire Mafube community. So that's where our focus is. And I think it's just worth to say, if I can digress a little bit, currently 45% of the electricity use in Frankfurt is already off load shedding. We also now have the next generators already installed and operational, which means we're ready for the next 1,500 families that we can accommodate on our curtailment program, so that we can go to, it's not just for business, it's not just for the big electricity users. We want to make load shedding free for every consumer, even that old mama that's sitting and she's only using 50 kilowatt hours a month. We must be able to assist her also. And that's exactly, this phase that we involved now, is to actually make it available to this program of ours, available to even the poorest of the poor.
So, with the growing focus on renewable energy, are you planning to integrate other sustainable solutions alongside solar power in its future projects?
Yes, certainly. Now, remember, we're now building those PV plants. And the reason why we're building the renewable energy plants is not just to supply the community. We're actually building those plants so that we can grow vegetables. Can you imagine if we can use green electricity with the water that's available, and we only need 1/10 of the water to grow green vegetables? That means if we can grow vegetables in Frankfurt and in Villiers and in Tweeling, it means we're going to have quality food. Those foodstuffs are high value, and we hope to get a lot of new jobs into the area based on renewable energy that drives food production. And as you know, that's the one thing we all need. We need to eat, and we need to switch on the light, and we need to drink water. So at least if we can cover the food and the electricity, that's already a big portion of the challenge that we would have resolved.
So not only will it come with good vegetation, but also employment in the Mafube community.
It's crucial, and that's what for us is so important. Can you imagine if our neighbors are happy and our neighbors are doing well financially, then we're all going to be safe. If we can't get jobs and we can't create the economy, it's important. It is so important for us to do. That is our entire focus with this renewable energy, is now to see how can we turn this into new jobs.
What specific challenges does the rural maintenance anticipate in terms of infrastructure development and maintenance for its solar energy solutions in Frankfurt?
Well, that you're touching on a very important point there. Our biggest hope, wish, prayer is that the municipality and the provincial government actually are willing to talk and engage with us. Because if government works with us and the entire community, can you imagine how quickly we can implement the right things? So quickly. But if we work alone and the community works alone and the municipality works alone, we will never be successful. So for us, the biggest hurdle, and we really, our heart goes out, we plead with councillors, with municipality, with the province, so that we can all sit around the table and actually make life better for all of Mafubians, not just for some.
So how will the rural maintenance engage with the local community of Frankfurt to ensure transparency and address any concerns regarding its proposed solutions?
Currently, we share a lot of information on social media. We also make use of the local media to get the message out of what we are doing, so that people can know. We also have a website that's very active. And if anybody has any question, we have a customer care desk where all those queries come in and we actually respond. And even some of those queries that we see, it's the same query by different people. We then post them on the website and on social media so that we can share the information that we know that people require.
Okay, so my next question, I think you've already touched on that, but maybe if you could like elaborate on it, like that will do. So can you describe the long-term vision of rural free state for Frankfurt's energy landscape, considering both affordability and environmental sustainability?
Sure, that's a mouthful. That's a very mouthful and a very important question. And all of it comes down to, we can only make things so cheap, and we can only cut costs so much. If we have 10 people and we have to cut costs because there's no money, if we cut perhaps more than 8 or more than 2 or 3 or 4 jobs, very soon we're not going to have a business anymore. And I think this is where South Africa is so long-term. We need to fix that we can employ more people, bank more money, do more business, deliver more services, whether it's a welding shop in Namahadi or whether it's they grow vegetables in Kalabocha. That's what we want to promote, because if we can do that, and for all these little things, they need energy. So if we can reduce the cost of energy, we can open the doors, we can also make it possible for people to do business, because if it's too expensive, it's just too difficult. And like our vegetable campaign, perhaps there are vegetable growers that want to become involved. That's what we want to accommodate, is to see how can we take Mafube and add more value in Mafube so that the citizens of Mafube can actually get the benefit.
Thank you. And my last question is, in light of the High Court ruling, what message would the rural maintenance like to convey to the residents of Frankfurt regarding its commitment to finding a solution to their power issues?
Okay, 2 things there. First thing is, we would love to have Blinking Media to come and see what we have in place, to have a little site visit, because remember, if we have resources, then we can do good things with those resources. So first of all, we got the resources, we worked to make the resources, now the resources are there. So you have an open door. in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, whenever you have time, we're going to we take you to those resources so you can see what are we talking about when we say agriculture, when we say growing vegetables in Kalabocha. You will see that. We want to show you that. Secondly, our biggest wish is what I said a while ago. Councillors, we have to cooperate with each other. We want to sit around a table. The same with the municipality. The same with the provincial government. We need to now put South Africa first, and by putting South Africa first, we start by putting Mafube first and all the citizens in Mafube. So that is our, if I can tell you what we would like to convey to the world is to say, let's talk. If we don't talk, there can be no solution. We may not like each other, but if at least we talk, we can find common ground to make sure that the community benefits from that.
Sure, because I feel like the only thing that could make this goal to be achieved is if only the municipalities or councils or whatever, they put their differences aside, and then the goal will be achieved, and it will be easy, like for anyone, for the main goals to be achieved.
Correct. And it's not just the councillors and the municipality, us as well. What can we do better to help to assist with this cooperation and communication? Because if there's no communication, there can be no cooperation. If there's no cooperation, there can be no goals delivered. And I think that's what we all need to focus on. We need to make the place better. And now we need to start with that. We can no longer wait one day for us to not use our endeavors to make Mafube better.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. That's all the questions that I had for you today, unless of course you'd like to add anything.
Oh, no, thank you. No, you asked important questions, and I hope you got a few good answers that you can do something to be here today.
Okay, thank you. Have